Hi everyone, it's Ivy. Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be doing a recent reads video. I didn't do a wrap up in April or May, so I'm just going to combine them and talk about the books I had read over those couple months. These books are in no particular order and according to what I read, like April, May. I did only read like 2 or 3 books in April, so that's why I'm kind of combining them. The first book I'm going to talk about is You Have a Match by, I don't know if you guys can see that. I can barely see it, but the first book I'm going to talk about is You Have a Match by Emma Lord. This book, I had an arc of it and I started reading it in like January, I think, and it took me like months to read. It wasn't a bad book, but it just really didn't hold my attention, and so I would just kind of pick it up on Kindle just like when I felt like reading like a chapter or two. I gave it 3 stars. This book is about 2 girls who are sisters, but one was adopted when she was a baby, so they find out about each other through like a lineage blood type thing, if I'm remembering correctly, and they end up going to summer camp together and their parents don't know that they know about each other. That's the gist of it. Like I said, I only gave it 3 stars. It really didn't hold my attention. The 3 stars is because I like Emma Lord's writing and the story was okay. Like, it didn't do anything wrong, so I'm just gonna kind of talk about these 2 books together. This is Queen's Shadow by E.K. Johnston, and this is Queen's Peril. Now, this book was published first and this one was published second. However, my recommendation for you after having read both is to read Queen's Peril first, because this is a story about how Padme became queen and met her handmaidens and stuff like that. So I don't know why they published them out of order, but like this one is how she ends her reign at Naboo and this one is how she starts her reign at Naboo. So I'm really curious as to why they published them out of order. This one has parallels to Phantom Menace, which I love, so no problem for me. I did end up giving both of them 4 out of 5 stars. The Star Wars narrations are always so fantastic, and the sound of I'll just set that down. And the sound effects are always like so incredible. So I just really recommend, if you're a Star Wars fan and you like Star Wars audiobooks, to totally jump in and read Padme's story. There is a 3rd book, I think, coming out this year. So I'm really interested in picking that one up because I really did enjoy my time in both of these. I actually think that I do enjoy Queen's Peril just a tiny bit more than Queen's Shadow, even though I love them both. The next book I'm going to talk about is It Happened One Autumn by Lisa Kleypas. This is book 2 of The Wallflowers, and this is a series about a group of girls who are in their season and looking for husbands, and each book follows a different girl and they're meeting their husband. I've noticed both of them are haters to lovers romance, so I'm curious if all the books are going to follow that path. I will say that I definitely enjoyed the first book a tiny bit more than the second book. I don't know why. I don't know if it was just because it was like a fresh story, so I enjoyed that a little bit more. I am excited for book 3, which I'm not sure if I'm going to read now or in the summer because it's set in the winter time, so I don't know if I want to save it for winter or just go ahead and hop right in. We'll see how I feel. You know, I don't really enjoy romance in my real life, but I like reading it and I like watching it and I enjoy consuming romance stories, so I have really enjoyed my time reading Lisa Kleypas's books. The next book I'm going to talk about is Lisa Jewell, Invisible Girl. This book is kind of weird. So it's about like neighbors across from each other and you get multiple perspectives, and it is about, how do I describe it without spoiling anything, because it is a thriller, like mystery type read. It's about this man who gets fired from his job because these girls claim that he was sexually harassing them, and across the street there is another incident with the teenage girls over there, so they kind of start to blame him. And then this teenage girl goes missing and they find the blood in his backyard, so he is to blame for this. But when you're reading his perspective, you're not sure if he is really to blame, if he's guilty, or if this is all just like a huge coincidence and you want to know where the missing girl went and all that stuff. And I had read maybe like 60 pages of this. Then I was flying to Orlando. I finished the whole rest of the book on the flight. I like had to, like, and it was a red-eye flight, and I was like the only person with my light on, so I was that person. But you know what, it was worth it. I wanted to finish this book, and I ended up giving it, what did I give it, 4 out of 5? Did I give it? Actually, I'm not sure. I might have only given it 3 stars, more like a 3.5. Okay, so I did only give it 3 stars when I rated it, but it's a good thriller. I recommend, if you need that kind of story, picking this one up. The next book I have to talk about is Black Girl Unlimited by Echo Brown, and just know that this story is like super intense. It is about a young girl, Echo, and it starts when she's little and it goes all the way up to her teen years, and she is a wizard. And the parallels between like wizardry and anxiety and depression, this is me consuming the story. Somebody else might get something else out of it. That's what I saw, because you start to learn other people in her life that also are wizards. So that's how I feel about it, is that it's like this black cloud and it's the depression. There is sexual assault in here. There is very intense drug commentary on here. So just know going in, this is not a light, flowery, magical realism type read, which is what I expected. I don't know why I didn't know it was this intense. I don't know. I never actually really read the synopsis, so I kind of expected a different story. So I was really blown away when I went in. The writing style was a little bit difficult for me because it kind of jumps back and forth a lot, like between like different plot points of the book. I'm trying to look for, so see how that, I don't know if you guys can see how the paragraph is cut there. It's 2 different stories happening, which was interesting, but there wasn't a lot of dialogue in this book. So because of that, it was just big, long, descriptive paragraphs, which I have a lot of trouble focusing on. So that kind of took away from my enjoyment of the story. I did give this book like 3 out of 5 stars. I do really recommend it. It was a very beautiful outcome at the end, and I really loved that for her. And it also shows that teachers are very important people in your lives, so I absolutely loved that as well. Just a super intense read. Definitely made me cry. Puddle of tears. The next book I'm going to talk about is House of Holo by Krystal Sutherland. This is a magical realism, body horror type read, which I apparently am really starting to like nature body horror type things, because I loved Wild Dark Girls, and I absolutely loved this too. I gave this 5 out of 5 stars. This book is about 3 sisters, and when they're young they go missing, and then when they come back, their hair is white, their eyes are dark, they're different, they're ravenously hungry, like to the point where they start eating like cat food, and the parents are like weirded out. The dad is like, these aren't my kids, whatever happened, like whoever these girls that came back are, they're not mine. And then the story jumps forward into their teen years, and the oldest sister, Gray, has gone missing again. And these girls are like so beautiful, and they can entrap you in their beauty, and they have powers, not like wizard powers, like kind of like mind control, mind bending powers, like they can convince somebody to do something. And so anyways, we want to know where Gray went, what happened, like what happened to them when they were younger, because our narrator here, what is her name, Iris, she doesn't remember, but it comes out that Gray, the oldest sister, remembers. So she wants to find Gray and also find out what happened. So I just really love this. I ended up reading this, I finished this also on the plane back from Orlando, so I did a lot of reading on those flights, but I really recommend this one. It's pretty short, and I really enjoyed it. And the final book I have to talk about today is Séance Tea Party by Remeina. This is a graphic novel. Did I say that? I don't know. And it was so good. I could definitely reread this. It's set in the fall, so I'm thinking about picking this book back up again this fall. And it is about a girl who's kind of a witchy girl, and she's different. She's kind of quirky, and she doesn't have many friends because she doesn't really connect with anybody. She ends up connecting with this ghost, and they're best friends. That's what this graphic novel is about, and I really enjoyed it. The art was amazing, and it was super easy to read, and just so much fun and really entertaining, and I highly recommend you pick this one up. I gave it 5 out of 5 stars. That is it for this quick little recent reads video. I think I read some pretty good books. I enjoyed basically everything I was reading except for that first book, even though I did give it 3 out of 5. I think I really need to change my rating on that You Have a Match, because it just took me so long to read, to the point where I was like just wanting it to be over. I don't know. Anyways, let me know in the comments down below if you guys have any recent reads that you want to talk about. If you're looking for me on any other social medias, you can find those in the description, as well as the list of the books that I read. I try to always include that, because sometimes by the time you get to the end of the video, depending on how many books I talked about, you could have forgotten and want to find them down there. Anywho, that's it. I hope you guys have a beautiful day, and may the force be with you. Bye.